What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone, a new show. Trying to bring on as more like fans as many times as possible. The more the better, because that was the plan when I started the channel. But due to circumstances, it wasn't easy to actually set up. But here we are. We'll give it a go. I have four guests today. We're gonna talk about Inter, obviously, because that's waiting for us on Saturday. We're going to talk about, the squad we have, maybe the issues we have, also, issues that occurred this week with Consasawo. And that pops up a massive question of how are we going to set up against Inter? And then all the other things we're going to talk about. Also, one question that keeps me up late at night, and it's revolving Locatelli, because every player seems to absolutely adore Locatelli. Every new signing loves Locatelli and his passing ability, but I can tell you, 75% of the fan base was like, "What passing ability?" So that's what we're going to talk about. But first off, guys, welcome to the show. Glad that you all can make it.
Yeah, it's great to be here. Thanks for inviting us on.
Yeah, thank you for the invite.
Yeah, Ale, thanks a lot for inviting me. It's a pleasure. All the way here from Barbados. I never thought I'd ever be doing this ever before in my life. So thanks a lot for the invitation.
Yeah, again, for the people rewatching this or joining live, probably rewatch, because most people rewatch. If you want to be part of it, just reach out to me on any social media, and I will add you in the WhatsApp group, and then you can just pop up on a show. Yes or no? Very easy. As you can see, many joined, and still many in the group who will probably join on a different week or something like that. But let's get straight into it. First off, before we move on to Inter, I talked about it for months and months and months about the window, so I don't really want to talk about it anymore. I will let you guys speak on it. I'll start with you, Karen. What do you made of the window? Like, recap. Is it a good enough window for us to do something meaningful this season, whatever meaningful might be for you?
Oh, I'll tell you what, man. Signing Zagrova and Openda on the last day of the transfer window gave us a 7, because a 7 out of 10. Because if we didn't sign those guys, that would have been a terrible, terrible window. I still think we lack another centre back. I still think we lack a right wing back player. I still also think we miss another central midfielder as well. So I give it a 7. I don't really like Locatelli at left centre back. He gives me a bit of anxiety. I would have loved for us to go for Manuel Akanji. I thought that would have been a pretty smart buy, but we weren't involved in any talks. But I do love our attacking options. With the emergence of Vlahovic now, we have the ability to play different ways. We can play with Yildiz, Vlahovic, David. We have so many different options. Conceição, Zagrova. So we got a variety of different ways on how we can play. So I think the window, it wasn't bad, but it was missing. We were still missing a centre back, someone to cover for João Mario or start in place of João Mario that can defend and also attack. And possibly another central midfielder, because I think Coop Miners and McKennie, I ain't really too sure if they can play the pivot like how we would want as fans to really enjoy. So I'll send it over to you guys in a second, but for right now, I think we are probably 3rd, 4th, because to me, the Serie A is wide open. To me, it's wide open. With the injury to Lukaku for Napoli, I don't think Inter are the same team Roma look really, really good, to be honest. Still early goings, but then Atalanta don't have the same manager. AC Milan, I don't trust Allegri's style of football. So to me, it's a wide open league. But I think we are a couple players short to really challenge for the league.
I think most fans would agree with that. We miss certain, like João Mario no cover, the Kostic one, which we'll discuss later on as well. And then you hear the news that Camiaso's out, McKennie might actually get the start. I'm like, what's the point with Kostic? And so I think most of them, I think most part of the fan base would agree with your point of view. But Joshua, what do you think? Have we done enough to be in the mix, I would call it? Because I don't think anyone would say we're going to win it.
Yeah, I wouldn't go as far as winning it. I think they did enough. It's what I expected, to be honest. I think by the end of it, this is all we could have expected. I mean, Comoli coming in, he seemed level-headed, which is, I feel, a little different from past management. He has a lot more to prove down the road, but I wasn't expecting a lot of signings coming in. I was a little surprised they got in both Openda and Jagrova right at the end of the window, which I think helps keep us in the race. I don't know if I trust Tudor enough to bring us to a title challenge. I think he's enough to be stable, to be, fighting for top four, hopefully in the mix. But we're lacking a center back. Like, we needed a second quality center back with Bremer. If they really wanted to challenge, I think that was a must. I think they're putting a lot of faith in Miretti to be a backup in the midfield. I think he's going to end up being in the double pivot role, which I'm skeptical of, but I prefer him to McKennie at least. I don't know. There's pieces that are missing, but I still feel like it was a pretty, I don't know. It worked out. I think he kept it really calm this window. He didn't make any rash signings. He didn't put us in a situation where next season we're going to be screwed financially. I think they'll be able to do a bit more next season. That's probably what they're banking on. So, hoping for the best. This is probably the first time I've gone into a season where I'm usually really positive and over mindset, wanting Juve to do really well. This is the first time I've gone into a season where I'm I really have such low expectations. But so far I've been pleased enough with how things have gone so far, I guess. I'm not expecting a ton, to be honest, for the season, but so far it's I feel tame. I feel okay with it so far.
I mean, that's refreshing on the channel because I kind of flipped the season. I'm not confident that we're going to win, but for the first time, I'm a bit more optimistic than I was previous seasons, if that makes any real sense. I don't know where that's coming from. Maybe I just had enough. I'm fed up and I'm I need to switch it up, for my mental health. I just need to fake it until we actually potentially can make it. But right now, I do have extreme worries. If Bremer goes down, I think the season is a throwaway already. Yeah. So that's a massive, massive issue. What Karen said early on Akanji, funny enough, I recorded a preview with Anthony, an Inter fan, for tomorrow's video. And he talked about Akanji. And, you will be shocked what he had to say about Akanji, because if I need to go off his comment, we're going to have a field day on Saturday facing Akanji, because he's going to start due to circumstances at Inter. Mm-hmm. But Imran, what do you made of the window? Are you pleased or satisfied with it?
Well, I think that in Italy it's difficult to have a perfect mercato due to the financial problems that most of the teams are facing. So our mercato was good compared to the finances that we had. That in the last 3-5 seasons we gave a lot of priority to balancing the books, to fix the problems that were made by the old management, especially Giuntoli. So at the end we managed to sign, I believe, 5 or 6 names, which was good. For the goalkeepers, we already have 3 starters, so it's not a problem. For the defensive line, we have 6 defenders. So if you're going to use 3 defenders, three-man defense. I think six defense is really good. You have Rugani, Bremer in the middle. You have the other one, Gatti, Carrillo on the right. On the left, you have Kelly. Today we are waiting for Cabal to be back, so we needed another center back, but it will depend on Cabal being back. If he's back in the form, I think we have no problems there. He can complete and compete with Kelly. For the right wing back, we had Gonzalez. We saw them, which I think he will be back for next summer. So we saw them. When I read the obligation, when I read the obligation for him to be sent to Atletico, it was just like nonsense. Like playing 21 games, 45 minutes, too much. So I think he's coming back next summer. So we signed Joe Mario on the right. Tudor tried to put in Kalulu there, but he didn't really perform. I don't know about you guys, but for me, it was really bad against Genoa and Parma. So I think we still need a player there on the right, even if I think that McKennie can do something in the position. I really like the McKennie with Allegri when he played as a wing back, and even with Motta last season, he played as a left back in the right back. I really like McKennie. I would like to see him there, even if for Tudor he doesn't really play, and he doesn't see him as a wing back. So let's see. The midfielders, if you go with Locatelli, Koopmeiners, Thuram, yeah, we still need someone else there. For me, I don't consider McKennie as a center midfield. I believe he's not really not that player, to be honest. I don't know about Miretti. I didn't see him a lot. Miretti got injured, and when he played with Allegri, he played as a more in the attack. So I don't know about Miretti, to be honest. He can be a key, but if he's really back in shape, let's see. For the left side, Kostic and Cambiaso, I think we're good. If Cabal can play, it will be even greater. Behind strikers, we went with, I believe, Zegrova Conceição, which is good. Openda and Vierdes on the left, good. And Vlahovic, they believe that we have incomplete squad list, but it will depend on Cabal if he's coming back. It will depend on McKennie where he will play, and about Miretti and Openda. These four players can really define the mercato because they can be used in different ways to help the team. So I would say a mercato of 6.5 to 7. That's it.
If McKennie plays in the midfield, I'm gonna slam my head in a table. Like, it's just not. I'm okay with him at wing back, but thank God, please don't be in the midfield.
I mean,
I
we
agree.
will get that. We will get that there in a second because I had a question on McKennie, and it's basically like a domino effect because of Conceição's injury as well. But Pietro, what do you think? Are you satisfied enough with the window for you to say we will have a decent enough of a season?
So I agree with the overall sentiment that, I think a 7 would be a fair rating for the transfer market. What I'm looking at is the long term, and
I think we lost you.
Yeah, I don't
I
hear
think
him.
we lost Pietro. No, I think we.
Oh, he might have been off. I like what he's saying about the long term, even if that's all the words he got in, though. I do think it was a long term mercato. Like, he wasn't trying to spend too much now, so future seasons were not locked in, as long as I guess we don't get too many players returning from the loans. But
Yeah, I think
Well,
I
that's
would-
their problem, yeah.
I agree with that. I if he was trying to say that, I would agree with that.
do you guys hear me now?
Oh yeah, you're
Yes,
back. You can.
Oh,
You can pick
okay.
it.
Sorry about that. Yeah, no,
No problem.
what I take from some positives is that I do think it's maybe step one in a larger plan, and I am hopeful going into this season that we have more of a structure. I don't want to say identity, but I feel like we're getting there. We have Yildiz that we're building the team around. Up top, it's still a question mark around who we're going to build the team around. I don't think it's going to be Vlahovic, but I think I'm happy that we're building around Yildiz, which last year there were some moments where We weren't sure if he was going to be that we were going to build the team around. We left him out of some key matches in Fiorentina. So I'm happy going into that. I also am happy that we're starting to get a little bit of a backbone when it comes to strategy transfers, where which I don't know if you guys have seen in the reports lately, is that players will be sold on Juventus's terms, which I feel like has been lacking in the last several years, where we've been selling players at below value or making rash decisions. So I'm a little happy that we're sort of having some sort of backbone when it comes to these negotiations. Like the Moan happened at the last minute, even though I did want him to come back. But a part of me is happy that, if it wasn't under the terms that we wanted, then we quickly moved somewhere else. So I'm happy about that. What I don't like is us being linked with players and us taking all of the transfer market to close it. I look at other teams, and sometimes it's a 2-day turnaround where they're linked with someone and then it closes. For us, I feel like it has to be 3 months or 2 months for us waiting, and then it usually happens on the last day. So I'm hoping that could be improved over the years. But I know that the management has their hands tied with, all this financial, balancing the books. So, but I am optimistic of going into the season.
That makes two of us, I guess. Optimistic, depending. Like, I think we'll have a decent enough season. I will actually be extremely shocked if we will have a complete failure of a season. And complete failure, I mean like finishing 5th or something like that. When it comes to the dealings we have done, I would agree. At one point, I think everybody was like, okay, they're going to close Jadon Sancho, and then he, disappeared of this planet. Like, you hear anything about Sancho, and then it was Colomani, and I think everybody was like, yeah, PSG at the end are gonna send Colomani over, I guess, and then it didn't happen. So maybe we are the issue, like, because we believe the journalists a bit too much, and they're misleading us, I guess. But at the end of the day, they were ready, or Komoli was ready. Whatever you think about Openda, is he good enough? Is good enough? Whatever. At the end of the day, ready, and he, closed the deal accepted. So that is also a positive sign, that the fact that we were planning to do something, it didn't happen. We had an option B that some might say an option A. I kind of disagree with that, but the fact that we were ready, I think it's already important in my opinion. But let's move on to the game, because we do play Inter on Saturday, and I want to first off, I just want to, like, what is your general feeling about the game, without going into deep context of, oh, he's missing this and that. Like, what is your general feeling? Because it's match day 3. I think it's a bit of a shame that it's this early to play Inter on match day 3. I think, like, this early on in the season, no team is really ready, and it takes away of the fixture a little bit. But what's your overall feeling, Karen? What do you think?
Well, I hope it's not like the game last year that finished 4-4, to be honest, because that had me really, really nervous. And but no, Inter don't really strike a lot of fear in me, to be honest. I think after what I watched in the Champions League final versus PSG, I think they miss a lot of athleticism in their team, especially in midfield. But of course, they do have 2 clinical strikers up front in Marcus Thuram and Lautaro Martinez. So we're going to have to really defend really, really well. But I'm very confident because we're going to be at home. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's at home.
Yeah, so we're at home. I kind of think that Tudor is going to play with Kalulu again in that same position. I think we all agree with that. That's what's going to happen.
I think so.
I think as well.
Yes. Is Conceição fit? I saw some pictures of him in training. He looked.
I don't think he's going to play. I don't think he's going to play. Going off the latest reports, it feels like impossible that he's going to play.
I feel like they might take him on the bench, but I don't think he's going to start for sure.
So who do you think is going to start?
Well, that's the biggest question out there. There are many options. Actually, there are about 10 options if you really want to. But all of them, like if you need to believe the media, there are 10 options, but they all sound crazy. Like one is McKennie, the other one is Colt Miners. It's playing David and Vlahovic up top, Yildiz in behind. It's playing Openda and Yildiz behind. Like you can mix it up as many times as you want. I think Colt Miners is going to play.
Colt Miners.
Where? You don't have substitutions.
I think he's going to play on Conceição's position. On paper, it will not have the same effect, obviously, but I think that's what's going to happen purely because whatever the media talked about Kostic, I refuse to believe that he likes Kostic as a Cambiasso backup. And I think he will use McKennie in there from the start or throughout the game. I don't think he's going to risk starting McKennie if he needs to come off the bench. So that's why I think Colt Miners is going to play. But if anyone has a different opinion, throw it in the group.
So is Zagrova fit, or is he still dealing with a bit of an injury?
Still has a bit.
You don't know.
He's just not fit. I get match fit. They say.
Oh,
I don't know what that means.
He's training with the group.
I mean, he just returned from his injury. He hasn't played much at all in the last 6 months? Last time he played?
No.
Yeah. December.
Funny enough, guys. Whenever I see Juventus linked with a player, I go on YouTube and I look at videos and stuff. And when I saw this guy Zagrova, I was like, this guy, he looks special. I don't know what you guys think, but he's got something about him that he's got this confidence, he's got flair, he's got this aggression, he's got a good shot on him. So I'm like, why hasn't this guy gone for more money? Why hasn't other clubs gone in for Zagrova? Because he looks extremely talented. Yes, I know it's YouTube compilations. It can mislead anyone. But you watch those videos and you tell yourself, I think we got a player here on our hands. I don't know what you guys think.
Really quickly, my perspective. Funnily enough, he started his career in Belgium. He actually played for a team where I live, in the city I live. He was extremely young at the time. And like at the time, he was highlight reels player. Like you said, like flashy, no end product whatsoever.
Yeah.
He moved relatively quickly because even like for Belgian league, there was no end product, and it was time to go. So that's what he is. I will tell you that he's a bit like Conceição. On the day, unstoppable. On the other day, you want to smash your TV. Like that's the type of player he is. That's basically who he is. And the issue might be the end product is like the talent and the abilities he had. The end product isn't really there as it should be. That's my point of view when it comes to Zagrova. But he is extremely talented. There's no doubts about that. I think.
I'm hoping playing in a front three with Yildiz and David or Vlahovic, even like just more quality around him, I'm hoping will help with the end product as well. I mean, I don't know. His decision making is probably not amazing if he hasn't left. Was it Lille we signed him from?
Yeah,
because he's playing with David, right? Yeah. Like his decision making is probably not amazing if he wasn't signed, but he seems to just have more like flair when it comes to actually shooting and assisting compared to Conceição. Like Chico's,
I agree.
What kills me at Chico is his left foot is just like, it's like a flower. He has no pace or power, anything behind that shot, pass or anything. It's soft. Like he's like a dog when he runs. He fights hard, but my God, the power behind it's not there. So I'm hoping Zagrova will bring like, I know they're a similar style of player, but he'll bring a different dynamic that'll change games, like them subbing each other out. Yeah.
What do you think?
For me, I like the Zagrova. I watched him a bit. I like the player. I like the characteristics. I think he can bring good things to this Juventus side, especially being there with Conceição on the right, completing each other and learning from each other. I believe that the competition between the two players will benefit Juventus a lot. But what I learned from the last summer of Giuntoli is that never judge a player based on what he did with his previous team. Like we saw with Atalanta, like he was running all the pitch, scoring from middle of the pitch. The Cup minus with Atalanta was something else, and the best midfielder of Italy. When he came to Juve, he forgot everything. And look at the other names, Gonzalez, all the players we signed. So I'm never judging a player based on what he did with the previous team. I'm only judging him with what he did with Juventus. That's it. And at the time when I will see Zegorov on the pitch, I will judge him there. But now I can't really say anything about him.
I mean, yeah, you know what it is for me. I still have no idea why we paid that much amount for Conceição. I come across like a Conceição hater. I'm not, because I think he is talented. However, he is extremely inconsistent, like you said, Joshua. Like one time he has the power in his foot, that one game, and the other game it's like what just happened. You know, his decision making is extremely poor. And when Tudor first came in, he didn't play, and the news out of the club was like, because he's not improving, like he's making wrong decisions, etc. So I don't know what changed between that period and let's spend another 32 million on him on top of the 10 we already paid. He's here, so you're gonna need to make it work. However, if he plays like he's been playing the first 2 games, he's not gonna play. He's not gonna start anytime soon. The moment Segrova is fit, Openda is fit, he's not going to play. Even though Openda might play as a striker, but you kept Vlahovic, you have David. So I don't think Openda is going to play as a striker many times. So the competition is massive. Like the competition is unreal right now, which is good. Maybe that's what Conceição needs. You know, maybe he needs to know that if I play like this, I'm not going to play, period. Because the other guys might just do better. I think that's hope. When people already say, "Oh, we have too many players in that position," I'm like, "Are they good? If they're good, I don't care.
It's not a problem.
Just fight it out." You know, if Colt Miners takes Locatelli's spot and it works better, I don't care. Locatelli, it is what it is. You know, if for some reason, for some crazy reason, Openda starts instead of Yildiz and he smashes in a goal every single week, I'm like, I like you, Yildiz, but Openda smashing it in, week out. You know, it's like, it is what it is.
Yeah, let's get better, take a spot.
It's that the issue is at the back we have many players, but I don't think anyone is going to compete, you know, or is going to stand out on top of the other, you know. But on that right hand side, it's good that Conceição has competition, because even the first 2 games of the season, it's extremely frustrating. Like, it's just frustrating to watch him play, because the way we play, if he plays like that, it all, like, naturally in the second half, whatever, it all shifts towards Yildiz. Like, you can even watch the game against Parma at home. The second half was just get it on the left hand side, like push it over there, and let's see what it like. And it happened basically until Yildiz flipped, you know, a position on the counter attack on the right hand side. But against Genoa in the first half, the little danger we had came from Yildiz, came from the left-hand side. And that's maybe not fair towards Conceição, because on the right-hand side, you know, whoever pushes up on the right-hand side, it's a bit more difficult. And when Cambiaso's fit, it's much easier, I think, to link up with Cambiaso than Kalulu, for example. So that's maybe not fair. But all in all, I don't think anyone can really say Conceição was having a fantastic last 5 or 6 months, because he hasn't. He had good moments and cool, but there's no consistency in him, and maybe that's what he needs. Segrova, you know, popping up, because if you just listen to Segrova, he didn't came to the club just to be at the club. Like, he came to the club, like he came to the club basically saying, I'm better than all of you, and whatever you know, you can say whatever you want, but I'm gonna beat you to the spot, you know, and that I'm cool, you know, just make it happen right now, and then we can see, I guess. My next question is, because we talked about it already, we talked about what's going to happen now that Conceição is injured, and who's going to play and who's not going to play. The next thing I want to discuss is that midfield. I touched on it a little minute ago because Colt Miners and Imran said already, Juntuli proved that whatever happened at another club, that happened there. Colt Miners had a poor season, and I'm being very nice. However, we might have found a position for him where we actually can make an impact, I guess, because the first 3 games, Atalanta friendly, and the 2 in the league, when he came on, I thought he was much more positively involved, But that means it's going to be Locatelli who's going to need to, take the hit, I guess. So my question is, Karen, because Tudor said it, this is a season for Colt Miners. This is Colt Miners' season. Does that mean, or do you believe he's going to outplay Locatelli somewhere throughout the season where he's going to be the main guy and Locatelli is going to be the guy that's going to sit out?
Alejandro, you got some really good questions, man. That's a really good question. If we get the Atalanta Colt Miners, we can challenge for the league. As dumb as that may sound, if we get that caliber of player that was at Atalanta, we have a chance. I don't know, man. I don't know, because Locatelli does not really give me that much faith recently. I don't know. It's something about him. He's not playing the ball through the lines anymore. He's making bad decisions sometimes. I still like him as a player, but I still think that's the area that we're a bit weak in. And I don't know. Colt Miners, to me, when I watch Colt Miners play, and this is based off of last season, he runs like he's got weights on his back, like he does, like he's struggling to
he looks
make an
scared
impact on the game. He looks scared. He doesn't look like the Colt Miners from Atalanta. Everything is side to side. The passes are side to side. A lot of safe passes. He can't really play out the press. His shooting looks horrendous. So I'm stuttering. I don't know how to answer your question because it's cool. Go ahead.
I think if he takes over Locatelli's position, it's good, but I hope it's because he's doing well and not because Locatelli's doing bad.
Correct.
It's a good issue to have. I think he's generally he's more of an offensive-minded player, even though I heard he played as a defender to start his career or something, a left back or something like that.
He played as a center back. No, he played he played games as a center back at Asset.
I think he's a more offensive player than Locatelli. So in certain games, maybe you can use that mindset because Locatelli is definitely he's a defense-first player. He likes to things more safe. It's interesting because he'll go on spells where he does spray the ball a lot more because he has the ability to. He doesn't do it so frequently, and then he'll go on spells where he just like never wants to pass the ball forward. It's really interesting. I don't know why, but I hope Coop takes his spot because that's that would be a good thing. I don't think it's going to happen though.
Imran, what do you think? Do you think he's going to take his spot?
Yeah, I agree with Josh. Yeah, I agree with Josh. I believe this. If he takes the spot of Locatelli, it's because of Locatelli, because they are competing with each other. So the best one plays, not because one is doing really bad, so the other is just entering, even if he's not ready, just there because he's the only option. So I hope that if he enters, he deserves it, like all the other players, not only for Coop Miners, but if we compare Coop Miners to Locatelli, I believe Locatelli can give you more defensive work, but you don't see that much from him in the attack. He doesn't take risks, he doesn't shoot, he doesn't attempt to dribble, he doesn't look for the assist. But Coop Miners, he will do it. He will give you assists, he will take more risks. But if you play with Cup Miners in Turan next to each other, you are a bit limiting Turan because you want to carry the ball along the back to cover the spaces that will be to cover the Cup Miners spaces. So if you play with both, you are limited Turan. But if you play with Locatelli in Turan, you are given more chance to Turan to go and carry the ball and attack. So I believe the best combination today is Locatelli, Turan, and the Cup Miners playing him. I believe you will risk defensively more. So that's my take.
I think if we get the like the how do you want to call it, like the gold miners we should be getting, I think he fits the way Tudor wants to play better than Locatelli, because he's a better presser. He can press better, and he's, I think, better up the field if that's needed. When people talk about Locatelli, like you said, Joshua, he doesn't spread the ball too much. I agree, but also I think the issue is because we don't have anyone who can play out from the back. He plays a bit deeper than he should be, and it takes away a lot from him. But with Locatelli, when we said offline, it's a love-hate relationship. I've never seen anything like that before. I'm not the biggest fan, but also not a hater, if that makes sense. But the question that keeps me up awake at night is every single player we sign, like the last 5 players, I guess, they all get asked the same question. I don't know why, but they get asked the same question. Who impressed you the most in training? And the first name that pops up is not Yildiz for some reason or anything. It's Locatelli, and they all say because of his passing ability. And the fan base goes nuts. Every time those quotes come up, David was the last one to do it, people are losing their mind. What passing ability, whatever. If you look at the stats, his passing ability is actually top-notch. Long range, short range, mid-range, whatever you want to call it, key passes, like it's top. So what is it that fans are like, you're that horrible? Because I don't think the club portrays Locatelli as a star. I don't think Locatelli portrays himself as a star. I do not get the hate. The only thing I've said 2 years ago on this channel for a season long, I'm like, I'm not a fan because he's extremely inconsistent. The last 2 seasons or season and a half, he's become consistent. I do not have an issue with Locatelli. Now, if an offer comes in for 40 million, I will move him on because you can improve on Locatelli, But when people talk about it or fans talk about it, like he is the issue that we are not good, I cannot run with that. Not even me. I'm like, that's not the issue. We're not good. It's just for some reason he's not liked by the fan base, and I'm not really sure why. Because he's asked to do a job and he's doing that job. Maybe that's the issue, that people think maybe about the Locatelli of Sassuolo, different position, different way of playing. We're not gonna get that at Juve with that backline and the way we want to play,
I think he also killed himself because in the Euros when we signed him that summer, he scored the 2 goals. So people just thought he was going to be like this crazy attacking midfielder who scores a bunch of goals and is like an amazing assister, which he wasn't. I think why players love him though is he just works hard. He loves the team, which people appreciate. But I think even with the passing ability, he wants the ball all the time. No matter what, when he's in the midfield, he wants the ball. Even if he makes just a really simple side pass, which is not that big of an issue, but even if he just makes simple passes, he still wants it. And I think that makes a perception of confidence. Like, he probably shows some confidence even to the team when he's in training. Like, he is the captain, even if he's not the greatest captain we've ever had, which he's definitely not. But he's liked, he tries. People appreciate everything that he brings, and I think that just like adds to a level of respect that people just say when they see him.
You brought up a good point, and maybe you guys can answer that question, because you said he's not the best captain you've had, and maybe that's one of those reasons. What is it? I don't like people in the comments will be, oh, you brought him up again, but is he a worse player than Danilo, because Danilo was loved by a lot, like a big part of the fan base, and I've seen people put him in a category that actually makes me sick. Where it's like, oh, he's a great captain. And I've seen comparisons. I'm not gonna say it because that's crazy. But he was loved by the fan base, and I think he's not like. I think Locatelli is like 2 levels above him as a football player than Danilo. But for some reason, he gets the extreme hate, and players like Danilo get extreme love. And I'm like, this is not adding up for me. This is not adding up for me. I don't get it. Do I think he's the best player out there? Do you think he's one of the best players we've ever had? No, absolutely not. But I don't think anyone in this squad is one of the best players we've ever had.
Yeah.
Like nobody. Like if we had a team in 2016, that's a good question. Let's say 2050, when we made the Champions League final, and we had that insane team. How many players in this team would be in the squad? I'm not saying even start, but how many players do you think would be in that squad? Because if I need to go really quickly, I think Di Gregorio being it on the bench, because I'm talking about squad. Bremer. I think Yildiz has a place in there.
Kelly.
Jesus.
And that's
No, I think
That's
Locatelli would be in that midfield though, because we had Pereira coming off the bench at the time. Like,
okay, as a squad player, yes, but I was thinking about Thuram. I'd rather pick Thuram over Locatelli.
yeah, of course,
I think.
I would too.
But not many. That was what I'm trying to say. Like not many. So when people are like, "Oh, but he's not one of the best players," yeah, we know that. Like I don't think anyone is saying Locatelli is going into the Hall of Fame that we just opened up. I guess I don't think anyone is. Yeah, I mean,
Wouldn't surprise me down the road, but I don't think he should be.
then we will have 200 players in that Hall of
Yeah.
Fame by the end of the year 50, I guess. Like it would be insane.
Look, my point of view on Locatelli is he's doing the job. What is the manager asking him to do is doing it perfectly, and that's good. To be a good player, that's good. But if you want to be a top player, to make that next step, you need to do more than what the coach is asking you. You need to take risks. You need to shoot. You need to go for the assist. You need to do more than what the coach is asking. That's the problem for Locatelli. He's not inventing it, just doing what the coach is asking. That's it, which is not helping him to gain that hype. And you know how football works. You need to score. You need to shoot. You need to be involved in all the phases, not only defensively, winning the duels, cutting the ball. That's not the player that people will hype.
Yeah.
Maybe. But that's what I said early on, like dropping in deep because nobody can play out from the back. Like it takes so much away from him. And is that fair? No, I guess, but again, I think if Koopmeiners plays in that position in Tudor's system, the way we want to play, it will look differently. Is Koopmeiners a better player than Locatelli today? No. I don't think anyone will say, yeah, he's better than, this Koopmeiner is better than this version of Locatelli, But in the system, like you said, I think Koopmeiners, if he's the real Koopmeiners, he will make a bigger impact than Locatelli, But right now, that's not really the case. So it is what it is, I guess.
Just quickly, Ali, the perfect player, if you want to do a bit of fantasy, a bit of dreaming for the midfield for Juventus would be Sandro Tonali. If we could get Sandro Tonali, perfect.
I mean, I think
100 million.
Great.
Maybe we'll take Kelly back next summer. Who knows? Because they spend insane money. Maybe they will do it again. I think they pay like 90 million for a striker to score 11 goals. So
If they want to take Thuram and to give you Tonali, would you do it?
No.
Pardon me? What's that?
I don't think so.
Take Thuram and give you Tonali. Would you do it?
No.
And it's not saying that I think Thuram is better right now than Tonali, but it's like one step forward, 2 steps backwards.
Yeah.
Like
Right, correct.
I also
it's not going
think
to move the needle.
Thuram also offers something different. Like Tonali is a better version of Locatelli. Like is what Locatelli dreams to be, and I don't think he offers that variety enough. Anyway, I wouldn't do it either way.
I think what Thuram offers is kind of unique because he can. It reminds me of Pogba and Rabiot from time to time. Like when he can pick up the ball and it's like he takes 3 steps and he's from one box to the other box, and you're like, how did that just happen? You know, you cannot really take the ball, and I think that's unique, and you need that in games. Even in Genoa in the second half, when we were a bit of trouble, and he just picks up the ball and he just drives it forward and he takes away the pressure. I think that's unique, and not many players do that, have that. So we can absolutely not lose. If we lose Thuram, oh my god, because we have kind of a spine right now. I think, even though Bremer is old-ish, it's Di Gregorio, Bremer, Thuram, Yildiz, and you build around that.
Correct.
You add pieces. You know, you add pieces around that. It's like a Christmas tree. Now we need to just add the balls around it.
Yeah.
To be honest, guys, I think the way how our team is built, I think we are more suited for European football than Serie A. I don't know why I feel that way. Because of our attack, we can attack in different ways. Openda likes to get in behind. You know, European football is a lot. I think there's a bit more space in European football. Yeah, it's more open. So
I think ideally
we do a lot.
Ideally, we are, because we have really good attacking players. But I don't know still. We haven't seen it. Like, Tudor hasn't shown anything against bigger teams. Like, he's been very... Granted, last season, they needed to make top 4, and there was a lot of pressure, and the team couldn't handle the pressure. So they played really safe, but also a little bit, like, timid and scared, like, against every big team. I don't think we had any big results against a big team either. I can't remember if we did. I think they were all ties at best. So
yeah, against Lazio,
you know, I don't
in Rome, that's the best.
Yeah, probably that was the best we had. Like, I want to see how he does against. I don't think, again, this is why I don't think it's going to be bad. I don't think he'll do poorly, but I don't know if he's going to utilize the team the way it needs to be utilized against those stronger European teams. Like a Lille, I forget who we have in our group. Anyway, the more like teams that we should be beating, maybe we'll be okay. Although history hasn't shown that in the last 5 years. But
what is our style of football? What is our style of football exactly? What is it?
I think what we're trying to do is press, win the ball back quick enough.
And counter.
Yeah, a lot of intensity and counter quickly. Because what I will give to the credit, and the bar was low. I get it. You know, the bar was really low. On the counterattack, it's more decisive. It's simplified. It's quicker. It's more direct. Because remember, the past years when we had a counterattack, we could end up kicking the ball long for whoever was up there, and for some reason that ball ends up back in Di Gregorio's or Chesney's feet. Yeah. We were capable of doing that. Right now, this season and the last couple of seasons, even at the Club World Cup, it's more direct. It doesn't always end up in a great chance, but the idea is it's quick, few touches, and it's direct towards goal. I think that's the way we want to play.
That's where Chico kills me, because he takes way too many touches.
Yeah, that's
true. And I'm hoping Zagrova will do better, because even if the decision-making isn't great, I feel like he would still release quicker. It would still help with the counter style more. Someone has the comment, Bernardo Silva being a smart signing. I think just having smart players who release the ball, like a player like him, helps that a lot. I wish we did sign...
Gundogan.
Yeah, someone more talented with that passing ability who would just release it quicker. Yeah. Just to help the team with those counters in those bigger games. That would have also probably been helpful.
Yeah, I mean, we will see. Like, Europe, it's around, like Tuesday we play Dortmund, so we will see how that. Yeah, we play Dortmund, right? So that's already going to tell us. We played Dortmund in preseason, and they didn't look good at all, to be honest. But you know, it's for real now, I guess, and it's different. You know, it's different. But going back to Inter, is this, because that's the title of the show? It's crazy, but it's match day 3. Is this already a key match? Because for me, it is. Because last season, I went to the Roma game very early on. I went to the stadium. It was boring. We played Napoli at home. It was boring. There was no like I came out of that game. I'm like, I've not learned anything. I don't know who we are. Even if we play brilliantly on Saturday with great intent, and you can see, and somehow we lose that game, I'm like, okay, we at least we want to be that team. Last season, I came out of that game. I was like, I don't know what type of team we want to be. So
Yeah.
for me, this time around, it is key. Match day 3 or not, like it's Inter. You always need to beat Inter at home, no matter what game it is, whenever it's been played. But for me, it's like, show me who you want to be in these type of games. Do you want to be the team that's going to wait and see it out, and maybe if there's an opportunity, you will take it? Or are you going to be the team that's going to take the game to opponents who are in some sort of trouble right now, struggling with their identity and whatever, and just going to break them down, win that game, and show some intent in these type of games? So for me, it's a key. It's not a key of we lose the season, throw it away. That's not, the season is extremely long. But for me, it's key of you're going to need to show me, or you're going to show me what type of team you want to be this season.
Yeah.
That's how I'm
I think
looking at it.
it's also a game where it's Inter, and we always need to play like with all our hearts against Inter. But if you can put them in more difficulty, it helps you in your season. Like Inter they're a glass that's ready to shatter if things don't go well.
Correct.
And
Correct.
you have to capitalize on things like that's what a big team does. It capitalizes when the other teams are down. So if Tudor wants to keep his job and do anything to show he has something to offer this team, and this team has anything to offer this season, they need to capitalize in these moments. Like we are the more prepared team as well. He's had the job longer, even if it hasn't been that long. He had the end of last season. He had this preseason. He has had a lot of these players for a while. Like, we need to make sure that this is a game that we show we can win.
Well, it's an Inter game,
Inter-
so we need to win.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, go,
Yeah,
go,
go ahead.
Volkan. Go. Okay,
Yeah,
it's an Inter game. Juve Inter is always it's always Juve. When you play Inter, you need to win. Even if you play with the next gen, like you need to win. It's Juve Inter. It's history. Juventus is always winning against Inter. So I won't really go into details, but to play a big game in the third match day, I believe it helps you to promote the league. If you want, like the Premier League, they start with the first match day. There was Arsenal Man United. So since the start, there was a big game already. So I think that it's good to start with having big games in the first match days, because it helps you to promote the league. And at the same time, I believe that now we can say that we are in the middle of the season. Like the season started now, the big games are coming, and you have Champions League. So you need to be ready. So you can't say, "Oh, we are in the start." No, today I think we are in the middle. The season started already. Against Inter Saturday, you need to show me full power, full intensity, and you need to go for the win.
Yeah, they have to.
Yeah, Inter lost their last game against Udinese 2-1.
No,
They're
they
not the
drew.
strongest of sides, really. Yeah,
No, they
I
lost,
think we
yeah.
should. Yeah, they lost to Udinese 2-1.
Yeah.
So I think we should go all
Oh,
out
they lost.
to
Sorry.
win this game. I'm sorry?
Yeah,
No,
they
no,
lost.
no. They lost.
Yeah, they lost 2-1 to Udinese. So I think we should go all out trying to win this game. If we don't win it and it draws, it's not the worst of results. But this Inter side, to be honest, the person that scares me on it is Dumfries. He just got this ability of coming up with some key goals, set pieces. He gets forward. So whoever's on that left-hand side will have a really, really tough evening for sure. Dealing with Dumfries and so
Who would you want started on that left side?
Okay.
Good question. Is it gonna be Kostic?
I mean, who's going to start on that left-hand side? If it's Kostic, I will be stunned. Like actually shell-shocked.
Yeah,
I would.
that'd be awful.
It's probably
So
going
you think
to
he's gonna
be...
go with John Mario?
I think McCain.
Yeah. What I always like, well, I don't mind Kalulu on the right because you have Cambiasso on the left. Like there's a balance of one very defensive, one very offensive. So it makes me want Mario to start, but I feel like Mario is going to get destroyed like by Dumfries. Going to be overrun so intensely, it's going to be bad. I don't trust Kelly to keep that safe, which makes me want McKennie to start, but then then the wing backs are just too defensive at that point. So
with Dumfries, it's really simple for me, and it's not me jinxing it. People know I do not rate Dumfries because like the good games look world class, but people only remember the good games. He also has a lot of bad games, like a lot of them. Like really, where defensively you're like, what the hell is happening over here? So you can flip it, and maybe Joe Mario can have a field day in behind. Like my big worry in the game is, like I did a podcast with Julian, or a preview with Julian, and he was correct. His crosses, his second ball, second post, those are my type of issue. Like in the air, we have the height at the back, I guess, and the power, but for some reason, that's my biggest fear. Going into that game, my biggest plus, whatever, confident boost is that with the players we have up front, we should put them in trouble at the back. Like it is like you should be putting Bastoni in trouble, Acerbi and Akanji, who plays his first game for the club, in a big game. You should be putting these guys in trouble for 90 minutes. That's what I'm looking at. But defensively for us, it's up in the air because people say, "Oh, Kelly played well." I'm like, Kelly did okay. He didn't make a mistake, and I think that's the bare minimum. But if we're being completely honest, we were not tested against Parma or Genoa. Like real chances, besides a João Mario block against Genoa and the Bremer block against Parma, I never felt these teams were going to score until the final minute. And Gatti was like, "Let me play it to you instead of putting it out of the stadium for some reason," and they hit the post from a corner kick. But in those games, I never had a feeling they're going to score at any given time. I didn't, So this is the first test. This is going to be the big test because you're playing real players right now, like actually quote unquote top players, So it's going to be interesting. I'm not really too fussed about who's going to start. I'm just more intrigued about who's going to play, and then I will make my mind up after the game because if he plays McKennie, I cannot really say, "Oh my God, you're crazy." I cannot really do that. If he plays Kostic, I might be like, "You're a bit crazy," but you kept him for that position, so I mean, you prove me wrong right now. But like up top, Conceição's out. I don't know what he's gonna do. Like ideally, you don't start Colt Miners in that position. But if Zegrova's not ready and Openda's not really up for it, then I mean, your hands, are kind of tight.
I would prefer. I mean, I don't think it's ideal, but I would still prefer. At that point, I would just put David, Yildiz, Vlahovic on the front three and Openda off the bench. At that point, because I want Coop off the bench in the midfield. Like if we put him up there, there's no one to come into the midfield. I don't want McKennie there. Like if McKennie goes in the midfield, like we're dead.
You're right, but I will always go back to the quote from Tudor, and he said Jonathan David, because he was asked about Jonathan David. He said he's going to play striker for us this season, and that's it. He said it's very simple for us. He's a striker. He's going to play the striking position, and that's it. So that's why I'm very in the fact of he's going to start Vlahovic. Where's Jonathan David going to play? I don't think he's going to do that.
I mean, there have been all those rumors of the two up top, which I don't know because I don't think Tudor really wants to switch his formation. Yeah, like the 3-4-1. I don't really think he wants to change up the formation, but you never know. I just don't want Coop in that spot. I want him off the bench.
Well, I think one of the keys to the Juve Inter game is blocking the left and the right side of Inter with Di Marco and Dumfries. And to do that, I believe Tudor will put in Kalulu on the right and McCain on the left to have more physicality to be able to block these two. Di Marco and Dumfries are very, very strong when it comes to asking the ball behind striker, even shooting from distance, crossing. They are very, very strong. And if you are able to block them, you are blocking Thuram as well, the number 9 of Inter. You are blocking him as well. So I would put Kalulu and McKinney to have more physicality And in the attack, I would rely on Yildiz and Openda to create.
I don't know if it's start Openda, but yeah, he might.
We will see. I mean, tomorrow, no, it's Thursday, almost over here, so we will see.
Saturday is the
like
game,
on Friday.
Yeah.
Saturday's the game. So Friday we will see what to the rest. I don't think he's gonna say I'm gonna play this guy,
No,
but we'll probably get more of leaks to suggest things. Final question before we wrap it up. Predictions or feeling. Well, like, what do you think, Karen? Are we gonna win? Are you confident or not?
Oh boy. I'm confident. I'm confident because this Inter Milan, as I said before, doesn't look as strong in previous seasons. So I think we have the attack to test them. Bastoni is struggling a bit. Achirbi also struggling as well. And then, as you said, Akanji's coming in as well. So I think we can get at them. Prediction, we are at home. I'm going to go 1-0 Juventus.
Good enough.
Allegri style.
1-0, yeah, 1-0. A set piece, something like that. A set piece.
Wow. Yeah. You know, I don't have this very often, but I had a dream of this game, surprisingly. The last time I had a dream of the game was the 3-0 against Barcelona that we had, where I dreamt of a 3-0. That was years ago. So I'm like, okay, well, my dream said 3-1, so that's what I'm going to stick with. We're going to win 3-1. I think Inter's slow. They don't have many quick players. So I think if we have enough, if we run at them well on the counter, I think if we hit them early on a counter, then I think we'll win. Don't let them get into a rhythm of the game.
For me, I will go with 2-0. First goal from Thuram, and then Vlahovic entering from the bench and scoring second.
Vlahovic again.
Yeah.
Before you go, Ale, before you go. Yeah. I was one of those fans I wanted Vlahovic gone. I wanted him gone of the club. He was struggling. He couldn't control the football. He couldn't hold up the ball. He couldn't pass the ball. He couldn't shoot. But recently, he's scoring goals. And he has changed my whole mindset as a fan. So it's like, I want him to stay now. He scored for Serbia. He scored for Serbia a couple of days ago. He's looking himself again. So I don't know, man. Football has a way of changing us as fans, our thinking of players, and
I think there's a possibility we'll stay. I think there's a possibility I think there's a real possibility that he might end up staying. I'm not really too worried about it. You know, just come off the bench and score every single week. Yeah. Whatever. If you want to leave at the end of the season, it is what it is, man. You know, like, just do what you have been doing right now and actually score with the limited minutes you get, I guess. Because I think the moment, actually August is a good month for him in general, but I think the moment he starts playing, because against Genoa, he scored, but his overall play was poor, you know?
It was
and
poor,
he almost set up a counter from one part of the field to the other one for Genoa because of a bad touch, you know? So I would say pump the brakes. But I get why people, like, fans are reactionary, like me included. We all are, you know? And it's like, oh my God, this is the Vlahovic. But, I mean, I've seen so much bad of Vlahovic. I need way more of this good Vlahovic to erase what I've seen the last. And I was one of the biggest Vlahovic's fan. But what I've seen the last year and a half, I mean, I've never seen that before. Like, it was that bad.
He needs to just keep coming from the bench. Like, I think the moment you start putting him in the starting role, and then, like, people, I don't know, he's gonna get overconfident, and not in a good way, because I think it'll expose all the bad touches. Like, we just need David to do well, to keep him on the bench and keep him coming off the bench scoring. And I think the more Vlahovic has to come off the bench, the more he'll do well. Like I
I
think
agree.
that.
Would you be
will
surprised if he starts against Inter?
I don't think he
Yes.
starts tomorrow. Sorry, I don't think he starts on Saturday. I don't think he starts.
I will be surprised. I would.
I would be surprised.
Yeah.
I would. I would. Especially like if it's with. No, I just will be surprised because if he starts with David, I think Tudor is doing something I never thought he would be doing, and if he benches David, I will be like, I don't think that's fair towards Jonathan David because I think even though Vlahovic scored 2 goals, he had plenty of chances, and you got Jonathan David for that reason, and you try to push out Vlahovic for that reason as well. So I don't think it's fair towards Jonathan David, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's how I'm.
David
Do we go with lineups or not?
Sorry.
Lineups. Do we go with lineups prediction?
You can give your prediction because I have no clue. But
Okay.
you tell me. What do you
into
think?
The goal. I think Gatti, Bremer, Kelly. On the right, Kalulu, Locatelli, Turan, McKennie on the left, and we go with. I suppose that Zegrova and Conceição they won't be there, so I would put. If Miretti is there, I would put him, but I think even he will miss. So I go with Vlahovic, Openda, and Yildiz behind.
I think that's what he'll do. I think Openda will get a surprise start. I would love if he put Adzic, but I don't. Adzic was staying was such a mistake. That kid is never gonna see the field.
Actually, it would make more sense profile-wise. It would help us. But
It would make sense to put him there.
But he's not gonna get this. So somebody asked that question already. I think during a live, and I was like, yeah. I mean, like even Miretti is not fit. I mean, it's not gonna happen. He's gonna probably shoehorn a player into a position that you shouldn't be there. But it makes more sense to say, Openda, I just met you today, I guess, but you're gonna play.
Yeah.
You're just gonna play. It's football. The game is still the game. You need to play football, and you will get to know your teammates along the way, I guess, because Vlahovic, when he first came in, first game for us, he scored. Knew nobody at the club. Knew the league, but didn't know who his teammates were, and he scored. And even Zakaria scored on his debut in that same game.
Colomani too,
He
right?
paid Vlahovic 80 million though.
Yeah, Colomani. So I mean,
I think he'll do it. I think he'll put Openda.
I'm saying he's not going to do it because that's how coaches usually think, but I wouldn't have an issue with it. That's the situation you're going to play, and we will see from there. But yeah, people, we're going to wrap this one up. If you haven't liked the video, I know most people rewatch it. If you want to be part of this, reach out to me on social media, no matter what platform, what account, and I'll put you in the group chat, and you can join because Karen, Imran, and Joshua joined. Pietro joined. There are still other people who couldn't make it today and will be on, I don't know, next week or the week after, whatever. So there's plenty of opportunities to join. But you guys, thanks for being the first one to try this one out, I guess. Ahead of a big game as well. So we had some things to talk about. But next week we will have way more to talk about because it will probably be after Inter, definitely, but also after Dortmund as well. So we will see. But thanks for joining. It was a pleasure meeting you all, and we will see next week what we can discuss. Danilo scored on his debut as well. Yeah, against Napoli. Came off the bench. So even Danilo did it. So definitely play Openda, I guess. But yeah, people, that's it. Have a good night or day.